Hello, I guess we'll call this part 5. I actually needed to go through my videos and delete some of my videos off my phone because it wouldn't let me record anymore. So, as I was saying, the first meeting we went to, I had offered to pay for gas. And she said, no, that's okay. So then after the meeting, we had gone driving at this park, and she likes to see the wildlife, and that's fine by me. That was fine. She was having a good time, so I was like, yeah, well, this is better than letting her use. So thought it was a I thought it was a good thing to do. And oops, my glue bottle was stuck to the bottom of my plastic or container, or my cup. It's just a cup. And anyway, so we did that, and we kind of took longer than she normally does, and I guess he didn't like that. So, he complained at her, why you took so long, and you spent a quarter of a tank of gas, and did she even offer to pay to fill up the tank, or how come she didn't pay to fill up the tank? What kind of, he just kind of bitched about, that. And anyway, so then the next time we went to this meeting was the following week, right? Because it's weekly, the meeting is. Anyway, so then we went and did that, and and then she texts me like, I'd say an hour and a half before we go to she comes to pick me up. And she's like, I need you to pay for gas this time. So I was like, all right, that's fine. So I went to Casey's. It's a gas station local to here. I think you can find them in Nebraska and Iowa and Minnesota. I'm not sure if you can find them in Wisconsin, because I don't really go to Wisconsin. Oh, that's too much glue. Anyway, I went to Casey's and I picked up a gas card. So you can replace Casey's with whatever gas company is local to you that has gas cards, and I got a $10 gas card because I was like, that's plenty, and I was okay with that. So when she picked me up, I ate before she came pick me up, and then we went. And when I got in the car and adjusted the seat, I gave her the $10 gift card, for gas, because I don't carry cash. I just don't, or I do, but it's for emergencies. I don't just use it on anything. Like save it for if I have to use money at a parking ramp or whatever. Because for a while there, they wouldn't even take cards. Or maybe they do now, but they didn't at the time. They're like, and then I would only have a 20, and they're like, is that all you have? Because they don't like taking 20s in case they get mugged or something. I don't know what the deal is, but, yeah. So they don't like getting 20s for paying for at the ramp either, but, anywho's, continue on with the story. So then we go to the meeting, and I don't hear anything about, anything more about the gas stuff. So then after the meeting, we go drive. Well, actually, okay, so during the meeting, now this is kind of leading up to where I was going with this whole conversation. Okay, so during that meeting, that second meeting, they had talked about something called a STEP program. And I've always wanted to take one of those. But then I made it obvious that I was atheist and that I am not interested in having them change me, and I am not looking for them to, I'm not going to realize, I'm not going to discover God to keep my sobriety, And anyway, so then one of the ladies there is like discouraging me from doing the STEP program because I will never get past step 3, in which step 3 is resigning yourself over to God. And to me, now I'm going to get a little bit, I don't know if the right word would be preachy, but, I actually did not take hearing that too well. I was polite when she was saying the stuff to me, but in my head, I was like, what the swear word, because I'm trying to not use swear words because I was told that I do too much swearing. Anyway, so in my head, that's what I was thinking. I was like, what the what? and this lady's like, yeah, you'll never get past step 3. Why would you put a step 3 in there? But then again, I guess, why am I going to a religious step, or why am I going to a religious based recovery place? But then again, I was going because of my friend. And so anyway, and then and then my friend takes, we go, and she's like, you want to see the animals again? And we talk, and, while we're doing this drive, and she talks about how she wishes she had binoculars to see the animals better. So I buy her a pair, right? And because I tried to look for a free pair that somebody had that they never used anymore, so I could give it to her. So I ended up just spending $20 on a pair of binoculars for her. And all I got was a thank you, and she just set them there. And I was on, and then we went hiking this last Friday. She had told me that we would go to Oxbow, well, that's the name of the place that she likes to go and watch the animals. She told me we would go there. So, and then on the way home, after we were done doing our hike on Friday, she just takes me home. And of course, then I made a video about how her dad was making his little snidey comments about my not wanting to go down steep rocky hills, or trails. And you know what? I told her that. I said, I don't need people, bullying me for stuff that I can't control, because, I can't. I can't control that I was born with, I can only use one eye vision at a time. I don't know how to see out of both at the same time. I can see out of both. I just can't use them both at the same time. And my left eye is much weaker than my right eye, so I don't use my left eye very often. But anyway, it bothered me that I just was getting dropped off like it was a second thought. And I'm like, geez, I could have just met you here, and then I could have drove home myself. That's kind of how she made me feel on Friday. And then, but I'm also skipping so the reason why I go to these meetings for her is just to, to help her, and just so I, can be there for her if she needs somebody to talk to, not in a sponsor type way, because she has somebody that she can talk to. Although, she's not quite ready to give up her drugs fully. She's just not. She feels that drugs are her way to, release her negative emotion. She hasn't found a hobby yet that she can do that makes her feel good, that she can do when she's feeling super depressed, anxious, or whatever. She hasn't found something like that yet, or she hasn't, doesn't go back to work, or she hasn't found a stepping tool that she can use for that situation yet. And I'm trying to, provide her with, gently reminding her that, whatever. So anyway, I don't know. It just, and then she told me, sometime, because there was the 2 weeks we went to the meeting, that was 3 weeks ago. So there wasn't a meeting last week because of Memorial Day on the Monday. Monday is when the meetings are, and today is, of course, Monday as well. So we'll see if she wants to go today. But anyway, I'm getting to why I started this conversation, and okay, so I have time. So anyway, I guess the one person that she talks to outside of the meetings called her at some point during that week, after we had gone drive. Oh, yeah, I never did finish that conversation. So anyway, we're driving around looking at all the animals. And this is the second week that we went driving after the meeting, right? So this is the second week. So then when she drops me off at my house after we drive for a little bit and she looks at the animals and, because she likes to pull over, look for the animals and then, move along. But anyway, so then when we get to my house, I hear her gas bell ringing. And then she tells me that he only gave her a quarter a tank of gas so that I would be forced to pay for gas. And I got mad at that. I really got mad at that. So I basically told her, I said, okay, fine. Next week, I will take you and he will watch the kids while you and I go to this meeting. And you know what? Part of me wants to still do that. Part of me's like, fuck it. He could fudge it or, whatever a nice appropriate way to respond to that would be was, he can watch the kids. He doesn't need to raid. It's not required. It's not necessary. He can watch the kids while we go to a meeting. So I said, I'll drive us. I will come pick you up and we'll go and he has to watch his kids while we go and so you can be sober. And she dodged my calls the whole week. I called her on the Tuesday that next day after that Monday there, and it rang 3 times, and then it did the busy signal, basically saying that she declined the phone call, and that made me mad because I actually had to look up what that meant, and that basically means that they declined the phone call. They don't want to talk to me. So, yeah. So she didn't want to talk to me, and I don't know if it's because she's mad at me because I said that I was gonna force her hand into making him watch the kids while we go to the meeting ourselves. But it was just conveniently placed that she found some excuse or whatever, or, then she said that this other person that was at the meeting had called her and they talked about me and said, yeah, we don't think that she should, do the STEP program because I was actually interested in doing it. So, but, as something to do to, just so I can see what things I can work on in my life right now, because right now I just, bead when I feel sad or annoyed or depressed or whatever. That's, and I process my thoughts in my head, and then I feel better. But, anyway, I'm going to end right now. So I guess we will be making another part. I don't know what part we're on. I think we're on part 5. So this was part 5 because of my video ending short on part 4. Okay, so I'm going to end right now and then we'll continue on with should be the end because I'm getting really close to what I'm trying to get to. Okay, bye.